All three One Chicago shows are some of the most popular shows on NBC.
Masters, this is Sergeant Floyd with the Chicago Police.
But recently, rumor has it that one of its shows might get canceled in 2023. Chicago PD could get canceled. Well, according to the Chicago Fire Renewal article, PD fans can expect an answer to whether Chicago will get canceled or not. And that's because on Sunday, January 15th, NBC will host a Winter Television Critics Association presentation, an event that comes with numerous TV show renewal. In 2020, all three One Chicago series were extended during the event. So it seems likely that we'll have an answer regarding the future of the franchise after this presentation. And what are the odds that it'll be good news? They're pretty high if you ask me. Over the past 10 years, the number of people who watch Chicago PD has stayed about the same, even though the cast has changed and the stories have gotten darker. Being darker than both Med and Fire is what sets this game apart. Making it a strong contender for the best standalone release of 2022. NBC has a firm grasp on the value of its brands, and its viewership ratings have stayed strong as a result. A large part of the appeal of One Chicago is that it features three shows that are all connected in some way, and so chances are Chicago PD will be renewed for additional seasons because the cancellation of even one of the three shows would be disastrous. It also depends on another factor that will either lead to a renewal or cancellation altogether: the ratings of Season 10. A total of 5.43 million people tuned in to watch the 10th season of Chicago PD, which ended up averaging around a 0.60 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic. Compared to Season 9, though, this is a 17% drop in the demo and a 7% drop in viewers in the live plus same-day rating. This isn't good for a show that fans don't want to see canceled. But then again, these ratings don't account for people who watch a show later or who watch it online. But even so, they're still indicative of the show's success relative to others on the same channel. Even though ratings aren't the only element in determining a show's future, higher rated shows are more likely to be renewed, and lower rated shows are more likely to be canceled. Our only hope now is that the producers of the shows take into account the fan base and how badly it wants the show to be renewed. Otherwise, the cancellation of this show won't just come as a big blow to the fans, but to the One Chicago franchise as well. Because let's be honest here, the overlapping storylines make the franchise so interesting.
Let's get that pressure dressing ready.
But there's one character in the show that might save it from being canceled. Kevin Atwater's backstory is finally being explored by Chicago PD, and it has opened up so many possibilities for the show and the character itself. After 10 seasons on the air, Atwater finally gets some room to grow as a character, and it's all thanks to Chicago PD's exploration of the tension between him and his father.
That you're gonna put your own father back inside.
Angry? Are you serious? Do I look angry right now? I don't got time for that.
Atwater has dealt with problems like profiling, police brutality, and the death of a prison inmate in the past, but these have always been external conflict. His interactions with his brothers and the shifts in his social group, like the loss of Jay Halstead, were the closest he came to a personal, emotional exploration. Kevin's had plenty of opportunities for external growth, but none of them have required him to examine his own core values and beliefs. Even more so, Atwater's father provides him and Chicago PD's intelligence with a compelling personal drama arc to explore. After all, families are difficult even at the best of times, and the Atwaters provide a unique opportunity to explore questions of limit, second chances, and forgiveness. I mean, a plot like that can definitely sustain itself over a long period. As a son and a police officer, Atwater has a wide range of options for interacting with his father, which gives him more room to develop his own unique identity, apart from his parental or law enforcement responsibilities. But as the relationship develops, it will bring drama and catharsis for those involved in the show. Till the show gets a renewal, you'll never guess what happened in the last episode of Season 10. Sean O'Neill returns, and there might be trouble in paradise for Halstead and Upton. Halstead got a job abroad without telling his wife. wife. What was worse was that he hadn't returned her calls and made it apparent that he wouldn't return soon. The show began with the camera rolling over framed images of the happy couple, which was followed by Upton leaving another message for her AWOL spouse. To make matters worse, Sean had returned in the previous episode, still obsessed with Upton. He had been calling her from jail constantly.
What about Samantha? She okay? Huh?
His reason? Apparently, he had intel on their current case, a mother abducted in front of her son. He wouldn't reveal this crucial information until Upton agreed to a deal, that he'd be her criminal informant if she visited him weekly. Upton took the deal, but regretted it when Sean, working undercover for them in jail, described one of his underage victims in graphic detail to coerce additional information from their prime suspect. But Burgess reminded Upton that Sean could no longer hurt that girl. Upton contacted Major Baxter to find out how her husband was doing. She cried when she learned Halstead wanted to extend his trip.
Then we'll figure it out.
She paid Sean a visit in jail to break up the engagement.
We had a deal.
I'm not coming back.
The detective had no intention of ever seeing him again. Upton told him that she couldn't have him in her life.
I can't have you in my life. Can't do this.
She was done.
I'm done.
He shot back by saying that it was a nice speech, but she was giving it to the wrong person.
It's a good speech. You're just giving it to the wrong person.
Aside from these shocking turns of events, Jay Halstead's exit from the show wasn't well received. Fans wished that he might as well be gone for good from the show. They're not wrong though, given how his exit has affected his on-screen relationship with Upton. She's going through the hardest time in her life, having Sean back and all. And then to learn that her support system requested an extension on his assignment is heartbreaking beyond words. What a jerk move to pull on your own spouse. And the fans on Twitter agreed. One person tweeted that while it may be an unpopular stance, they would have preferred it if the producers had simply killed off Jay rather than damaging his character in this way. We hear you, man. Another person tweeted that they've been saying they should have killed Jay since the beginning, especially when they found out that Jess was leaving. They then added that unlike other people, they knew that if Jay wasn't killed off, the show's producers would just mess it up. And judging by what's happened on the show, can't say I disagree at all. It's understandable that when Jesse Lee Soffer requested to leave the show, the writers created a storyline that would have his character leave Chicago. But the way they went about it didn't do justice to Halstead at all. This was the same guy who never approved of Voight's ways, like ever. He even hated the fact that Aaron stood by Voight after he had killed his son's killer. So it doesn't make any sense that his character would turn this cold and heartless all of a sudden. But who knows? The writers haven't killed off his character yet. So there are still chances that when he returns, he'll have a reason for behaving the way he did. Here's hoping the Chicago PD will get its renewal this year. See you in the next video.